better view. Okay, here we are, making it cool again, right? Let's see what it means. Okay, very quickly, ICOL group. Now you already seen the video. Thank you very much for the introduction. Now we are just quickly, just so you can understand where the expertise come from. We're an international group of companies. We count 5 R&D offices. So mostly we are R&D, technology developer company, and we have 2 commercial offices in Europe as well, in Italy and Spain. Okay, and we like to present ourselves like experts in high-tech industrial automation. So it's high-tech. It's always not the traditional model, but we use such technologies and approaches like artificial intelligence, the robotics, and digital twins, and so on. Now, this makes me believe that I have something to share, and from my company, but not only. Let's say the best cases, the most interesting situations from our industry and all around it. I see something blinking here. Let me just be sure that everything goes smoothly. Okay. So the new agenda for any business, 1, 2, 3, in 3 points. Let's see. So first of all, positive wave. Okay, I see here something blinking. The positive ways. We all know the UN goals for sustainable development. Let's say in a good times, not yet before the crisis, we already decided to go sustainable business, right? For all in any industries, because you know we are at the point on no return, or we change it, or that's going to be a bad future for everybody. I mean, in terms of planet, right? So the famous 17 sustainable goals defined by United Nations, and at least four of them are highly related to our industries, our set of industries. So we talk about good health and well-being. Again, something's blinking here. What's going on? Okay, nothing. Then we talk about industry, innovation, and infrastructures. We talk about sustainable cities and communities, and especially responsible consumption and production, right? So that was the plan already. But then what we've seen is the crisis, now the virus and its related pandemic situation. And this basically, again, still something is blinking here all the time. I don't know. Okay. So the pandemic probably has changed forever our industry. It's not anymore just a wish, just an idea by United Nations and great companies which were already oriented to sustainable future, but now this situation is changing all of us, not even like consumers. So that's basically the basic point where everything starts from. Then the companies, B2B, community, supply chains, manufacturing, and you know, all that's around. And we see that brands are already doing. Now, first of all, they are accepting digital strategy, finally accepting it, and well, I can hopefully say accelerating. We see the decreasing numbers of samples, of physical samples, so less waste everywhere, it's been declared. Implemented virtual showrooms, so even in B2B level, like in B2C, where we all know that digitalization already brought us to buying online almost anything, not even from materials, such complicated materials such as leather. But virtual showrooms means the mindset change, the change of mind on the B2B level. So the companies start exchanging their proposals, ideas, products, components, materials already online, right? And then especially very important, this is really important, also related to B2C phenomena, but it is strategic. Brands are reducing the size of collections. So we want to produce less, but make it better, distribute it better. Again, thinking of having sustainability in our minds. And here, the third step, no, it was the digital technology. As I said, now I'm myself and my company more experts in the footwear sector. So what is going on in our sector, and it is so the revolution, technical revolution, already happened, we may say, and the leather industry will follow. That's out of doubt. So let me just quickly show, demonstrate which are the 5 big pillars of digital transformation roadmap in the footwear. So we talk about digital design prototyping, again, less waste, more digital, quicker time to market, you know, so adaptation of new tools like 3D design, digital sampling, and so on. Then we talk about retail. The consumers become closer. Consumer are just one click, you know, ahead of or far from the company. So we talk about 3D visualization online, product customization, such new models like made to order, made to measure, which are yet complicated, but they will completely change the way how we are used to do business. Or then we talk about smart manufacturing and automation, because without this, a kind of backend that supports this transformation, without an agile manufacturing, but in a new way, not just agile. The process is really quick, really efficient. We can't do nothing. No, we can only dream to change the industry, but if the backend is not able to support us, there is no way to go further. Then we talk about very important. So here we are now, the sustainability and how the specific technology like AI and big data helps us replanning, rethinking how to plan, how to design, how to produce, how to distribute, how to interact between us and everything. So we have data, we may analyze it, we can make better decisions, we can optimize everything. And finally, digital supply. Again, already mentioned here concretely, if we don't organize the supply chain in the way that we interact with each other on B2B level in the same efficient way like we already interact with our consumers, there is no way to go further in an efficient way, right? So these are 3 points, started from positive, then the crisis, and then the tools. We're ready? Maybe yes. Okay, back to the earth, leather. The future of leather, well, I can bet it will be digital business. Maybe some of you don't agree, some others have a different opinion, some others fully agree, but with different arguments. Let's see what I have to share. Okay, so we're talking about launching in parallel a new value chain for leather. Now, we're in the traditional approach, we're used to have leather as a physical piece, and so brands, manufacturers, consumers, and tanneries, all the ecosystem around it is concentrated and basically exchanging using this physical piece, and all the potential is related to it, to that piece of leather. Now, in the new approach, so in the information era, we talk about the leather as data holder. So the physical piece, it exists, it is surely very important because at the end it is used to do things, but we can use its how to say, virtual brother. Not yet, I don't enter, but well, okay, let me anticipate. We call digital twin. So the value of this physical piece of leather, or to its potential, which on the physical piece it can hardly be recognized, can be concentrated and exchanged through a data holder, not through basically the digital twin of this leather. In this case, we don't lose the original value chain, of course. No, it's very important, and so all related processes to treating the physical piece is very important, but at the same time we can introduce a new value chain and a new set of processes, very interesting, which would open a few highly promising scenarios. Well, the vision. This is related to our company, but I believe many, if not most of other companies would agree that zero waste is our main objective with the leather, right? So the critics of leather is that it is not, the processes are not so efficient, and apart from, well, let me say, the games of marketing, which is out of scope of our today discussion, from the practical point of view, right? The waste is a big problem, and technology can really help us optimizing it. Now, so think of if we digitalize leather, make it available for analysis and so also predictions, planning, intelligent planning on the digital level. Now, what interesting scenarios can be observed. No, so first of all, using the right amount of leather. This is totally a total game changer. If every time we need to create something, no, we need to use the piece of leather, we would know which one to use and would be able to use that one from the objective of minimizing the waste and maximizing the efficiency and the quality of the product. that would totally change everything, right? Today we use just FIFO, first in, first out, so or well, whatever is that maybe not technical approach that is applied to the warehouse management, but for me it's something in, something out. We take that piece, it is ready to be used. That's it. Instead, if we elaborate in parallel digital version of leather and can evaluate what is used for, what is useful for, what is where it's more efficient, and then take exactly that piece of leather and use it. That is, as I said, from my point of view, that is the main revolution. We will have improved logistics because we can move. We have moved the flows of data in parallel to flows of physical pieces. So with the data, we do all the new value chain that we'll see now piece by piece, basically exchange it, moving it to along the value chain, and the physical piece is following. So then intelligent nesting, again, this is a technical part now to implement the zero waste initiative. Intelligent nesting, for me, for how our company sees it, again, the limitation of nesting is that we want to optimize the use of surface of a given piece. Instead, if we have these pieces all in memory and can find the right one, we can make the intelligent nesting really a lot of percents more with a higher efficiency, right? So nesting could have a totally different life, and especially if it's automated, then we gather the statistics, we can make it even much more efficient. And then smart use of leather. Again, also related to technology, to analysis, to artificial intelligence, and the computer vision, and so on. We can recommend the better parts, so the quality zones, the color gradient. We can manage the things automatically and to optimize processes of the use, so the production, and by conclusion, the quality of products and the efficiency and everything. And then, well, the final point, data generation. Now we'll have a lot of data. Leather is a very old industry. Now there are so many pieces passing basically every second, and through some factory, some tannery, but it's not remaining any track of it. Instead, if we bring it to digital level, we will start finally gathering statistics, and it's very important knowing how the pieces of leather are made, which are the types, which are the problems, and then how they are used. It's incredible, no? So as soon as we can, we'll start these change the approach. The industry will grow and become richer and richer thanks to the data and knowledge gathered. Then it also can enable very interesting new scenarios that maybe today looks, as I already anticipated, a bit far complicated, but with the sustainability compass, they can be closer than we think. So for manufacturers, again, the zero waste strategy vector that is finally possible to follow. So it's not only words, it's not only marketing, but with the technology, we probably can achieve it. And means that it will be a strategy by itself. And then second part is traceability and transparency. We'll see later the details. Traceability and transparency. We want to show to the world that the true situation, right? And so better than to show in the maximum transparency, and thanks to technology that can support it, and so to make this information available instead of just try to talk, it is very important. Then we have consumers, and consumers today with this all this sustainability in their minds, and green approach, green lifestyle. They are basically ready, or very soon are getting ready to sustainable and responsible consumption, right? That means buying less, selecting better the products, caring about the products, or even reusing them. So second-hand market, even on luxury level, is becoming important, interesting. So probably a piece of a fashion product, would live a much longer time. That is the goal, instead of the goal, as we know, of fast fashion, is to live the quicker life, but the cost as less as possible. Here the things are changing. And think of the scenarios such as made to measure, well, at least made to order starting, and then made to measure, right? It is impossible to implement these scenarios at scale, right? If we don't use the technology that allows digitalization and all elaboration on the digital level of the potential of the leather. And finally, the brands that they are very happy, right, to adopt sustainable design. But again, what it means, how to implement it, we miss today a base to make it possible, apart from nice marketing and storytelling. And also made to order all small batches. That's, as already said, one of the strategies that brands are ready to adopt. So making small, making things better, selling it to the right people, educate people to treat better their products, and so on and so on. And here, leather is the ideal material to be part of this new value chain. So ICOL digital, and we believe that, that our mission, we can define our mission in this direction, is to improve the both processes, is the leather as material and how we use the leather, right? Went further very quickly. Leather 4.0, like in general industry 4.0 frameworks, would count the technologies such as AI, artificial intelligence. I will talk more details some later. Then IoT, Internet of Things. It means the things that would allow tracking physical advance at factory or at the warehouse during logistic processes, and so gather the data, transfer the data to somewhere where it will be analyzed, so data analytics. And then finally, we even talk about additive manufacturing, but here I wouldn't go deeper to additive manufacturing, because our next arguments are more concrete, and especially where my company and myself have an expertise, and we can prove, we can bet it is already ready. This technology is already ready and can help the industry. So first of all is artificial intelligence, right? So reliability and efficiency of defecting and classifying leather surfaces. That is the base. If we don't scan, don't analyze the leathers, all the rest is like tracing it, optimizing the use of it. How? Every piece of leather has to be analyzed. That's one point. And second, with this, we surely pass to intelligent and digital factories, or, well, manufacturing or intelligent supply chain, because as I said in the introduction part, we basically treat and operate the digital replica of the leather, not its physical. And physical piece, it comes where it is already been decided how to use it. So you have a program, you know how to use it, but you elaborate everything on digital level. So it's, of course, it's a combination of other technologies which will follow basically the digital twin and the digital replica of the products. We'll see later how. Okay, so as we said, one of the most important challenge for us is to implement traceability, right? Otherwise, we talk, everybody declares to be sustainable, we can be certified and anything, but the consumers, the markets, the partners can hardly verify it. So, well, let me say, don't believe so much, right? Not everybody, but maybe it would be much easy to deal with the market if we could simply show it, right? Traceability. Coming back to fashion sector, where things, especially technology, is already more advanced. Basically, maybe the brand that you see here, I'm sure many of you already recognized. It is basically, from my point of view, an icon. They were the first to adopt the use of blockchain, yet maybe as a proof of concept. But the idea was simple: not to show and to allow consumers tracking via scanning of QR code or scanning an intelligent marker on the IoT level to verify the information about the product, starting from who's made the materials, where the materials come from, then how they were treated, and at the end, who produced, who distributed the product, and so on and so on. And that greatly worked. Consumers were appreciating a lot, and this was basically start of the revolution. And in the vision of how blockchain could be helpful. Again, here I don't want to enter into details how the technology works. Now, many of you, if not all, surely, I think everybody heard the term blockchain. It is just a reliable system to track information. Now we can trust it. It doesn't matter how it is implemented. It is a kind of database that is made by technicians that we can trust. And then at the end, the most important thing is that the information, once written on a blockchain network, it cannot be changed, at least not easily, right? Maybe by some hyper hackers, but I don't think so. Up to now, let me say it's 100% reliable. And also means anything we put there, we can say you can trust it. You know, so if the information is there, it is true. Brands go even beyond. So it's not only tracking of a physical piece and its supply chain, but for example, Ralph Lauren, they declare a digital product identity. No, so through this digitalization and a full transparency, you know, for full structuring on a digital level of the components of the supply chain and so on, we come to the idea is that every product in its life cycle becomes a digital. Well, basically they declare it's born digital. Now, first it's born digital, and we track it, and then physical product it's only following. No, but we deal, so the consumers are already dealing, the consumers from one side, and B2B, so the supply chain partners from another side are dealing with digital product, and then physical product it comes. Well, why I'm telling this a bit with this specific focus and maybe simplifying it a bit is that because leather is much more interesting. It's a special material, maybe unique material from the sense of traceability, because it is, every piece of leather is different, right? It's not just the lines of, it's not how the textile is structured from yarns and so on. Every leather, it's like that. It has its own nature. We can, once frozen it, then we can follow it during the life cycle. It is very interesting. Now, so there are some also for leather, giving you some examples like the famous CTC, quality experts. You know, all of us know them very well. They're implementing some systematic traceability in the leather. Now, in step 4, I recommend you to go to their website and check this initiative. It's quite complicated, very interesting. It's 4 steps, starting from the meat, right? The meat traceability. Then we go to farms, and then the intelligent marking and reading this marking of different types of marking, from laser marking, paper labeling, and also even having the passport, the intelligent product passport. So here there is one concrete example of implementation of this value chain for traceability. And also textile exchange is another project I found, also very interesting. They start from farming, right? They introduce some DCF protocol, and then they have in mind that given some initiatives to both to the brands and to farmers. You see here now it's like the traceability from basically from start to the product, through the production and to distribution. So farming and leather production process in the supply chain now can be organized in a way to prove that traceability is possible, and blockchain is one of the tools. Okay. This is very interesting example I wanted to present before going to my best and preferred arguments of digitalization. Is you know, counterfeiting, where it's a big problem, and need to prove the authenticity, especially for premium and luxury products, is something very important. So there are companies like Entropy, which have that, as I said in the beginning, having the statistics, having the knowledge about how leathers are made, it is possible to verify through their templates. So with the help of a computer vision technology and artificial intelligence, to verify if the piece of leather is basically a product made from a leather is authentic or it's possibly a fake. Now, Entropy, you may also find some nice videos on a video hosting system, so that they prove to have 98% of reliability of the detection system. Okay, then. Okay, final point. Finally, back to us. Well, if we can digitalize the leathers, and we have on the other side the consumers ready, the brands possibly ready to trade or to exchange digital information. The question is, how do we do it physically? You know, where do we treat? Nobody ever had systems to treat digital leather pieces, right? There are some very interesting projects, like already mentioned, textile exchange, the material exchange, an incredible, well-organized project, and also, you know, the Baidu network that to trade leathers. But we, ICOL, we also preparing to launch a B2B ecosystem network with a specific model for our B2B ecosystem network for trading leather in via digital replicas. So that the idea is to bring a kind of marketplace, specific marketplace, but not only for samples, for each specific scanned piece of leather that the companies can exchange it, see the characteristics, and maybe orders only those which have specific characteristics somehow to make it online. Yet I won't go deeper to that. Let's wait for the next occasion now once we are ready to present this innovation. Now, fundamental, what it lays behind it, digital twins. Very quickly, I know my time is almost up. So digital twin is a term, with the idea that it was not born to name a process inside the leather industry for sure, and even the footwear. It's, let me say, it's not born there, but already well adapted. It's an idea about creating a virtual replica of an entire physical product. Now, so think that the product exists physically, it's been made in the factory, but even before it's made, you already can have its expected way how it physically would look like on a digital level. Now, and this digital twin might live the parallel life along the value chain, like we've seen before, in parallel with the physical product, right? So that is for sure still, one may say, I still can imagine, but for leather, okay, this is how we see it. Well, some processes, most of processes have been already implemented. Some others are still in development. So we scan and analyze, intelligently analyze each bit of leather for automatic quality categorization, to allow its advanced search. Because we know the structure, now we know the color zones, we would know the quality zones, we know the defects to avoid. We can make, like I said in the beginning, intelligent nesting simulation. So I can even verify, find different ideal product parts to be used for this specific type of leather, right? This basically, we want to enable net surface trading, as I mentioned before, now on a marketplace which is coming in the next months. We will exchange the information about net surface. It's not anymore just theoretical surface, but it's net surface, because you know the structure and the nature of it, and it will allow even single piece trading. Who would know it? Who would need it? You say maybe a lot of companies, especially if you don't buy a single piece, you buy 100,000 of pieces, but you would know the characteristics of everyone. Now, and a digital passport is something that has all this information inside. Okay. Finally, digitalization and inspection. We all know now how the samples are digitalized already now. So our friends, Bontex in Italy, they are very active. There are other companies, but this is how it's used. No, they produce videos, and they scan leather steel. These are samples. They're useful to trade again with the blind approach, so with the closed eyes. This is how a medium, standard product would look like, but then every piece is different. Instead, let me skip this. If we talk about digitalizing every piece, we would need the different technologies. No, ICOL has made its specific new machine for leather digitalization, which can be our machine, which can be other machine that some partners are ready to produce, and we license the technology, or it could be even third-party machines which just scan, make highest quality possible a photo of the leather surface, and then we analyze it with our services. Now, and at the end, what happens? You do the analysis. The artificial intelligence train it on the best models to identify defects and zones, then becomes so powerful that in some ideal some good best conditions, let me say, it can detect up to 98% of accuracy. This is our goal. It's not always achieved yet with some specific types of leather. There are some work still to do, but we bet to have in few months in a system which can really recognize almost every type of defect or type of imperfection, anomaly, classify it, and so to prepare a map for the leather automatically without the need for human intervention. Then from there, of course, may have intelligent zoning, quality zoning, right? Semantic separation of zones and orient different zone for different type of products to be placed, to be cut, to be used for that. And after all, okay, saying all these, so digital twins, intelligent scanning analysis, virtual trading, and so on and so on, what could be the future after? Not, let's say, to not think only of the next 2-3 years, what is after. Well, we already elaborated, and well, there are other companies on the market that also work on the scenarios, such as making leather piece a new high-tech material. Think of the elasticity management. Elasticity management, if you can, well, by depositing some specific material, like in our case, it's specific polymer that robots can deposit in the known zones, it will change the piece of leather, the properties of the piece of leather in different zones. No, different. Somewhere it's more flexible. Somewhere it's hard. No, so you basically embed into the leather this property yet before cutting. No, you still do it on the full piece. Then think of printed electronics. How many companies work on new materials? Instead, here we have the whole world that's ready to that is producing, that's already used to work with leather, and we can transform it into high-tech and new material by just integrating into it the printed electronics, so like sensors, like heating lines, like specific, well, whatever it will be invented, you know, it can be deposited and on the leather, on the internal part, or maybe even external part, depending on the features. And the same, all the traditional material becomes a real high-tech powerhouse of features. And also the IoT, not the sensors for traceability. We can embed them at the earliest stage and then trace them along the whole chain. And more to come. And for this more, I can only give you some to you know, an idea to dream is that probably we will learn to fix some defects. And here a totally new set of scenarios now can be opened. I think if we can fix some critical defects, not everything, really not the whole, you cannot close the hole, but some of the defects, if they can, like in cosmetic operation, like we do it on the face or on the body, if we can fix it on the leather during the digitalization process or in the pre-production process, you know, this will change it again, the whole industry, and open totally new scenarios. Finally, that is my idea on the table. No, I can bet that many of you that heard that hear the my arguments, and maybe heard already other arguments about for the future of leather thanks to high-tech technology, will think that it's a bit complicated. It's maybe a bit expensive. You know, we would need to have the skills and so on and so on. There are so many reasons now why a traditional industry would say, well, that's great, but maybe only top brands, companies can adopt this approach. We are not so rich, and so on. No, the idea is that probably such high-tech technology should not be sold and installed and bought, acquired by every company. It can be concentrated in smaller or medium or bigger regional centers. Now, ICOL is working on this idea and cannot yet disclose where they will pop up and how soon, very soon, and hopefully in many places. But the idea is that you have a regional factory which makes a partnership with the tanneries, not with the partners, so to get to acquire from them the leather, then it's scanned on with all these analyses, all robotics, all digital twins, and all this, you know, complicated stuff. It happens just inside, but tannery basically doesn't care. They receive at the end digital passport and can trade the digital replica of the leather. And this service center can be, you know, or only for digitalization, or to full cycle up to cutting pieces and delivering the cut pieces to footwear companies, which many of them are also happy to not have the headache of the leather how to say, preparation and cutting operations, which are very complex and also very expensive. No, but the machines that especially require even people to care of them. So this is my, how to say, the best provocation on the table. Would the industry accept the model of concentrating, servitization, of concentrating high technology, not in every factory, but in some service centers, and then all this stack of technologies that would probably bring us to real high tech? What do you think of it? I think I finished. You can contact and verify anything, many other facts about the technology from ICOL on the site, on the website groupiCOL.com. You may find me on WeChat, on LinkedIn, and contact me via email or via APLF. I thank you for the attention, and now probably it's time to discuss, to hear your opinions.
Thank you, Andrew. So it's certainly a very innovative but very ambitious project. So we have actually received some questions from the audience, and actually they are asking if this technology for leather digitalization and using AI to detect the defective material is already tested in the industry, or is it only a lab project?
Well, yeah, that's good. That's a good question. Thank you very much. When in the lab, we have the technology for, let's say, for decades, for the next couple of years. But the basic part of it is already working. It's implemented in some brands and producers. As I said in the introduction part, now ICOL Group is a group of companies, and we have straight relationship with some. At our site, at the territory of ex-Soviet Union, we have a strategic relationship and partnership with brand and producer called Belvest company. You may find then maybe we can share later now also on the slide. It's written. We test most of our technology in this very concrete environment. So it is a brand who is producing, commercializing almost 2 million of pair of shoes, and their cutting already becomes like a kind of service, independent service for digitalization of leather. So yes, we have a first very important proof and hands-on project where all this new technology is cooking and testing, and after that it is ready for market rolling out worldwide. I think already in the beginning of the next year.
So here's another questions. How do you plan to work with the markets like in China or Asia, which are very challenging to penetrate for European countries? So do you have any local partners, or maybe to produce the robotized leather warehouse solution just for China?
That's again a very good question. Thank you so much. Sure, we understand that from Europe, for example, going to China and establishing a brand, a reliable company so quickly as the industry needs, it's almost impossible, not especially for a high-tech company like us. So we will move through the partners. We already have some companies that are interested in localizing our solutions and even localizing some part of our part of IP, so the knowledge, the know-how, and we will be very happy to produce the hardware right in China for Chinese market, and to license to other companies which have cutting technology. Well, then we will see if it's not strictly in competition with us, but we don't want to be, how to say, to see the market like a competitors, not competitors. We believe that the technology, especially such a new one, can benefit to everybody. So most probably it will be available to any desired partners. So yes, it will be regional through development through regional partners. That's for sure.
So I received a questions from a leather consultant named Bala. Thank you, Mr. Bala, for your questions. So you just mentioned in your presentation about passport. What do you mean passport? Does it mean a leather inspection report?
Well, Passport, it's maybe just a nice name to call some technical format of data. Now, because digital twin maybe, and not everybody understands. Now, digital twin is really a digital replica of physical properties or visual properties of a product and everything like that. It is a strong technical format, no? But we think to have something more on the level of marketing. So you buy a product, you use digital passport to verify what is inside, but not being technical expert. And also the passport is a thing on top of digital twin. It's basically a concept for to simplify the use of the information.
Yeah. So another question is, can your system inspect other than defects? Can it also inspect colors, grain, and other leather surface?
Absolutely, exactly, yes. So it's intelligent analysis. Defect for us, it's only part of the game, let's say. No, so the goal is to digitalize, to intelligently analyze the leather, see its structure. So quality zones and color gradient must have to optimize the nesting. So if those who are from industry who knows the needs of the nesting would understand. No, anything that would make nesting much more efficient. Now, so we work on also gathering big data level statistics to know how every specific type of leather from specific producer, from specific animal, from cross out the arguments, how they should be structured, and then we have since we work on the level of AI, we have neural networks which analyze this information that can even predict the level of color distribution, predict the new defects. So it's 360 degrees, anything that is on the surface. Yes. Yeah. And defect is only a part. It's very important, but technically speaking, it's just one of the part, yeah. one of the goals.
So we have another questions from Ralph. Hello, Ralph. So do you also do automation in tanneries?
Well, to easily reply, it depends. No, what are the processes that we are interested? Maybe we are not a player that work traditionally with tanneries, no, especially for the internal processes. No, we don't not know so much about the machines for leather treating. We we start from after the product is ready for distribution. No, so we work already and would love to work even deeper with tanneries, but probably on the level when digitalization is already possible. No, once we can apply a sensor or really digitalize the surface, not the part that is chemical treatment or all the other internal processes. No, that's different.
So Andrew, since you are talking about here's a questions also related to tanneries. So since your B2B platform is a trading platform for the digital twins of leather, who can participate? The tanneries directly or footwear brands buying from the tanneries?
Yet no, this model is not yet available. No, we're working on it. Very soon we'll bring it to the market. But our goal is to make also the material part the same with the same philosophy like the main platform is. So ICOL.com today is a B2B digital ecosystem. Ecosystem means every player may take part of it. So from vendors, brands, manufacturers, buyers, distributors, agents, suppliers of product, of raw materials, of elaborated materials. So basically anybody who is from the industry. And how it will work on the leather direction, I think we start from right from tanneries and footwear and footwear and leather good companies are already using the platform, and so probably it will be like an exchange for presenting the products. But I hope it was clear now from from my introduction into digitalization, every piece of leather is digitalized. So it's not only sample, it's not only you see a company, you see how their leathers in general look like. No, you can buy an exact bit of leather. You can buy 100, 100,000, whatever, but with the characteristics that you can specify, and we will find you material with that specific characteristics. So information surely should come from, or from, as I showed at the end, from a service center, which would partner with a tanneries, or right from a tannery if one wants to enter into the game and play directly to this game.
So here's a question about the speed. So how quickly is the digitalization from digitalize the material to digitalize the sample to physical?
Well, digitalization, just passing, the scanner on top of leather is the matter of few seconds. So it's very quick. Then, how quick is the elaboration, preparation of materials? It depends basically on the technology connected to the scanner. There could be a local computer, so a server. If it's a quite powerful server, again, it's very quick. Otherwise, if it's a weak machine, it will take some time. But in our model, operatively, the technology will be available from the cloud. If it's available in the cloud, in a totally respect of privacy, in autonomous way, etc., cloud elaboration, it's almost real time. So we pass in few seconds the scanner on top of the piece of leather, and then elaborate in real time, and just in a few seconds it's available for any operations. Because think that for us, this scanner, this machine, and its related software is part of footwear production chain. No, it's not only for digitalization somewhere else. We use it at factories, and so once you place a piece of leather, you scan it, and then a small mobile robot takes it and brings it to the next operation, so marking or anything else. It is already ready. The next robot, which is ready in 3 seconds after the scanning, which is ready to elaborate this leather, it already needs the digital map of the leather. So all the defects, all the quality zones, etc., they're basically elaborated in real time. Again, if the cloud option is available, it's very easy, very quick. Otherwise, you would need some local software, but still, we talk about seconds. It's not hours.
So questions. How do you control the quality of the scanning, if you understand the questions?
Well, by the philosophy of artificial intelligence is that it's AI that controls the quality of us. Now, of course, first you need to teach it, and teaching any AI, any neural networks or specific algorithms is a process when initially some experts. So we involved a lot of experts, human experts, which made the marking of the defects and color zones and so on. AI learns from these experts, and of course during the initial process, in general for us, but then with every other new company, we can use their people, human experts, and to compare. Now the system will learn basically from a human expert. There is a neural network which already learned hundreds of thousands of pieces, and we believe that the accuracy, the verified accuracy, any company can verify it. Now you can make it manually. You can see the results of automatic scanning and elaboration, and you can verify the results. In some cases of strange colors or really a strange type of leather, maybe it may require some additional training just on site. So a company will provide an expert who made some dozen of manual elaborations. We scan those manually market leathers, and the AI system is then ready. How do we monitor it? You can assign a person who sees the digital screen and following. In a totally automated factory, it's not needed, but in a mixed factory and in a hybrid factory, there could be a worker in front of a screen, and you see how the system propose the layout and even nesting. And in the case you want to to fix anything, you can just interrupt the automatic process and make it manually, and the system will incorporate the results of your manual fixes, and not only incorporate it for this time, but also to learn it for the next time, try to generalize and understand why there is a different way of marking by this expert in respect of the initial program known by the AI. So yes, we can adapt it.
Yeah. Henry, thank you. I think we are a bit running out of time. So thank you again for your innovative, so dynamic presentation. So I'm sure if you buyers have any questions, you can always send an email to Andrew, or you can let us know, and we will pass your questions to Andrew. So thank you again, Andrew.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
So if you want to watch